Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by AMMARI DIEDRICK. An absolute pleasure, AMMARI. How are you?
I'm good, my brother. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. I can't wait to speak about your fight. Octagon 56 coming back to Birmingham. It's going to be a fantastic show. Your name has just been itched into that into the fight list, should we say? How good does that feel to be back? You know, a date set in mind.
It's happy to be back. You know what I mean? I was just hungry to fight, especially after the loss I just had. So it's good to get back and just right my wrongs at the end of the day and just put on a performance I know that I can do. And that's it.
Absolutely. April 20th, just over a month now, in Birmingham, as I talked about. But firstly, I'd love to talk about, Octagon. How has that relationship been? How was that first outing? I know we spoke about it before we went on air, but how was that first outing? You talked about the production. It was sick. When you get into the real, I feel like you get a real feel. That's like for myself as well. When I first attended, I felt like, you know what? The production's not bad over here.
Bro, the production's serious. You know what I mean? You're getting close to that UFC level. You know what I mean? And the fans is just crazy. The production's crazy. The way they treat you, the way they look after you, they just wait on your hand and foot and give you what you need. You know what I mean? So with that being said, they give you what you need, and that just makes your fight week just comfortable. You know, there's no stress. All you gotta do is think about what you need to do. You wake up and you fight, and that's it. And so they're doing the right things, man. They're doing the right things. They're on the way.
Completely agree. You fought on some great shows. Outside MMA, obviously, we talked about. We talked about it on air. Glory. You had a fantastic a few fights in there. But in mixed martial arts, you fought in Erez, LFL. You fought in some good promotions thus far in your short career. What was it like heading into this one? Obviously, your professional debut. Promotional debut for Octagon. How was that? As the lights get bigger, the stage gets bigger. How was that feeling on fight week?
For me, this because of my promotional debut, the situation was tense. I put a lot of pressure on myself because I knew the stakes were high risk, high reward. Obviously, we were for the number 10, the number 8, and number 7 guy on my promotional debut, which on paper no one really does. But me, clearly, I'm just the dickhead who just fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. Clearly, but yeah, man, it's one of them. Like I say, coming from Aries and LFO, you just see the levels getting bigger. And for me, Octagon somewhere where you could potentially change your life. You know what I mean? This is where the opportunities get bigger, the money gets bigger. You know what I mean? The platform's obviously bigger. With that, if you can be one of the best fighters in Europe, man, you don't need to go UFC essentially. You know what I mean? You can probably stay here and build your name like a few guys already have. Kato, one of them being one of them. You know what I mean? So if you got guys like that sticking with Octagon, then it means they're doing something right. You know?
Absolutely. I want to talk about obviously on the wrong side of the decision against Mate Kurtesh, but there's a lot that you can take away from that, and we'll quickly top on that. What is what can you take away from that last fight? Against an experienced veteran, experienced operator in Mate Kurtesh, who he had a lot of fights, 19, 20 fights. What can you take away from that outing?
The positives from that I can take is that I went 3 rounds with a guy who fought for the title twice. He gave me 100%. I gave him 10%, and he was fighting for his life, and I wasn't. He got me on the floor. He couldn't really do nothing. He couldn't really get no finishers. He couldn't get me in a position to finish. After saying that, you've trained with killers. Even after the fight, he told me, yeah, I was training with AKA, so Habib's team, Islam, and all that. So the fact that you've been training with those guys and you can't get me out in a round or two shows I'm on the right path. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we know what to work on. We just go back to what we need to do, and then we're gonna be ready again. Me and him will definitely cross paths again soon. No doubt he's gonna wanna make a title run again, which is fair play to him. I'd love if he got a title and then who knows 5 or 6 fights, me and him fight for the title. Because if me and him fought 10 times, I'm beating him 9, 100%, 100%. He's reached his peak. I'm not reaching my peak yet. You know what I mean? Like I said, he gave me 110% in that fight, and he was still struggling. I gave him 10%, and it was just it was one of those fights there. But we move, we don't cry about it. We keep it moving. We go on to the next one, and that's it.
Absolutely, I can feel that fire in the belly. I can feel that undoubtedly you want that one again,
Oh,
which is good.
100%, bro.
You have a few fights and you get back to it, and you talked about fights can go different ways.
That's it, man. You know what I mean? So we're just gonna keep the ball rolling, get a few more wins, good performances, good aggressive performances. You know what I mean? Showcase striking as always, and showcase more wrestling, more subs. You know what I mean? I'm just keep showing people that I'm here to stay.
Absolutely. Heading into April 20th, you'll obviously be looking to prove yourself. Get that first win under the promotion. on a big stage and showcase your skill story. What statement are you looking to prove in Birmingham on April 20th?
I also want to prove that I'm just still one of the best in Europe, you know what I mean? And that's it. We're gonna be one of the best in Europe, and that's what I need to prove. I need to go out there and showcase multiple skill sets, not just striking. I need to showcase the wrestling side of things, the grappling side of things, and that's what I want to do. I want to showcase me being or on the way to being one of the most complete fighters on the planet, and that's always been the thing.
Absolutely. And obviously, Octagon returning back to Birmingham, as I just quickly mentioned there. How great is it to fight for Octagon in Birmingham? Sort of a home for yourself, obviously, training at Team Renegade.
You know what? Like I said, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I prefer fighting on international shows. But you know what? For you know, why not? It's down the road. It's an hour away from my home. Why not? Just allow my friends and family to then say, you know what? Let's just actually come and watch me fight, and this will support me. Instead of having to catch a flight to a different country. But after this one, yeah, like, just getting back on the European shows, man, where I belong. I belong on the European scene. I've got a massive European fan base, so let's just get this one out of the way. You know, enjoy it. You know, get a nice little hour drive there and back. You know what I mean? I can actually have a fight and go straight home instead of having to go back to the hotel, wake up early, get a flight, and then do more journeys where it's smooth, man. I can have a whole team there. I ain't got to pay for money to fly people out, extra hotel rooms and that. So it's good, man. Easy. There's not too much pressure this time. You know what I mean? Whereas there's a lot you got to do when you're traveling. You know, a lot of money you got to spend.
You get to eat at your dinner table. You get to cut weight
Bro,
wherever
I
you.
get to eat at my dinner table. I get to eat at my food joints, which is just, you know what I mean? When you're in like Czech Republic and that, the food places ain't really, you know what I mean? They're not really all that. So when you're at home, I know my spaces, like, you know what I mean? I know my spots. I know Birmingham well. So yeah, man, I'm happy, bro.
You're going to feel comfortable, and that's why I feel like we're going to see the most dangerous AMMARI DIEDRICK on April 20th.
100%. You know what I mean? Right now, normally I'm always in hostile territory, whereas this time I'm actually on home soil. So the pressure is not really on me. You know what I mean? It's just like, whereas when I'm always forming, when I was always in France, Holland, obviously Czech,
Yeah.
I'm always the away guy. Whereas I've never been booed, I've never got a bad response from the crowd, but they're always somewhat gonna back the guy that I'm fighting, obviously, because they're a guy, you know what I mean? So whereas now it's me, everyone's backing me, and I love that, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we'll talk about the person who's coming over to your soil, your territory. Daniel HROMEK, 3-3 in his career thus far. From what I can gather, obviously a Muay Thai operator, and I think like this stylistically is a fantastic matchup for yourself. Talk to me about this one, the feeling heading into this one, and obviously the matchup against Daniel.
It's a good matchup, man. It's your typical Thai boxer versus kickboxer in a sense, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's got his slow pace, picking his shots, whereas I'm the forward pressure guy no matter what. With that being said, we're still both new to the grappling game, so it's gonna be one of them ones where it's gonna predominantly be striking, you know, which is fine by me, which is what we'll do. And then I say, yeah, man, I don't think it's going to be a fight where it's going to be who's going to be the dominant one in the cage in the center, because it's me anyway. He likes to hit and move and just circle off, whereas me, I'm just going to pressure, you know what I mean? So it should be an exciting one for the fans. I hope it is. I hope it to be nothing but a good war, you know, entertaining one at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, I'm here to entertain. I don't want it to be a stalemate fight, which I don't think it will be. So yeah.
Absolutely. You talked about it there. Obviously, we know how explosive you are and your pressure coming forward. Do you see that pressure eventually breaking down Daniel, maybe in the second or the third round, and obviously your finish presenting itself?
Listen, Pete, I always bring out people in pressure. Even Mate Curtis, he felt the pressure. As people said, he's normally the guy doing the pressure. Whereas with me, bro, I'm not going back. So you're always gonna feel it, no matter who you are. You can't train for me because I'm in your face from the moment that bell rings till it's done. Whether I'm tired or not tired, I'm in your face. So it'll eventually, it'll fade eventually, especially because he's not a grappler as well. So you're gonna have to keep standing. So
Absolutely.
it's gonna be in my realm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely agree. It's going to be a fantastic one. I expect this one to be absolutely fireworks on the feet. April 20th, though, how does Amiri Diedrick get his hand raised in front of the Birmingham crowd?
I would like to go for the finish. If we get a decision, I just want to make sure I put on a good, aggressive, clean, dominant performance. That's the main thing for me. You know what I mean? I just need to just get back to winning ways in fantastic fashion, and that's it. Whether that be a finish or whether it be a dominant 3 rounds, that's what I want it to be. I don't want it to be where I'm scraping a win or it's a split decision win. I want it to be nothing but a dominant masterclass. You know what I mean? And people know that I've got the potential to do that. and that's what I'm going to go out there and try and do.
Absolutely. That's pretty much the topic. I'll talk about other fights on April 20th. Obviously, we got your teammate Akon Wanless taking on Siraj. How's that one go down in your eyes? Obviously, there's a bit of bad blood in the last one, but it didn't go down. Now they're coming in Birmingham, coming in his home crowd, his hometown. How does that one go down? Who gets the win?
Why? You know, Akon's my boy and that, but I feel like this guy's gonna come with a vengeance. Because I don't know. I feel like when people get disrespected, I feel like sometimes it might just be on a bit more of an aggressive thing. Akon should walk through him. He should walk through him. You know what I mean? I don't. He's a smaller guy. Akon's a very big lightweight, but Akon should not take him lightly. And I don't think he is at the end of the day. I think he's ready for him. I think he knows that he's gonna come out guns blazing. So it should be a good fight, man. It should be a good fight. It won't be an easy win for Akon, but he will definitely take it. Yeah.
Absolutely. You spent your 3 days at Team Renegade. How influential was it? At that time, Team Renegade. Fantastic coaches, fantastic training partners. Fabian, etc. Blah blah. Around your weight, Yannick Bahati. How good is that Team Renegade team?
It's a solid team, man. I can't lie. You know what I mean? Right now, you've got some of the, if not some of the best guys in the world right there. You know what I mean? We've got Leon, we've got Tom Breed, we've got Fabian, Tim Wild, obviously. Emil Brown, the list can go on. So for me, I'm around nothing but killers. I am one myself, and we just keep feeding off each other. With them, for me, I'll go with them mainly just for the grappling side of things. Striking is my element. So that's neither here nor there. I go there mainly for mixing all with MMA. Getting my wrestling, getting my grappling, and being able to wrestle with Leon and just even hold him down for like 10 seconds or 5 seconds. Happy days with that, because I know someone at my level, I'm holding you for at least 20, 30 seconds, bro. You know what I mean? If I can hold you and just ragdoll you for however long, then yeah, that's what I need. So it's just a confidence booster going with guys like that. You go and at the end of the day, he's the top of the top. You don't get no higher than Leon right now. So if you can do okay grappling with him, yeah, everyone else is a breeze, bro.
Yeah, completely agree. Being around Leon has its perks, as you were mentioning there. When he won the championship, though, did it give you some added hope? Thinking, a guy from Birmingham could go out there and win a world championship on a fantastic stage. Did you look back at it and think, you know what, that gives me more added hope, more added motivation that I can go on and win a world championship, maybe for Octagon?
Yeah, I think it is. Because it is close to home. It's something that you actually genuinely know and train me thinking, you know what, this actually is doable, especially because he's done it from home. Whereas he's not had to go to America or Russia or whatnot. He's done it from home. He's beat two of the best wrestlers in the division. You know what I mean? Granted, the first fight was a bad day for him, but he still got a win. And then the second one was domination. Same with Kobe, domination. You're then out wrestling some of the best wrestlers in the division, and you've done that from being in Birmingham. So with that, we then know that it can actually be done. He's gone out there and be the elite of the elite by being here. Why can't we then do the same?
Absolutely. It looks like Leon will potentially take on Bilal or whoever. We don't know in the next fight. It seems like the UFC don't want it to be Bilal, but whoever he takes on next, whether it's Bilal, Hamzat Chimaev, whoever it will be, who would you like to see him next, and how does he get it done?
I don't actually care who he fights next, but I think at the end of the day, that he's gonna have 3 or 4, maybe 5 fights, kind of call it time, because he's gonna end up lapping the division. You know what I mean? There's just who's there for him now, really. He's gonna beat Bilal if it's Bilal. Shavkat, he can beat Shavkat. Hamza, he's got 1 round in him. Let's just have it right. And all you're gonna do is try wrestle. He's beat the 2 of the best wrestlers in the division, bro. And he's a better striker than you. So after that, you go Ian Gary. All right, cool. Where else do you go? So whoever he's got, he's gonna do it, and then he'll probably call it time after a few more fights, to be fair, and leave on top, one of the goats.
Completely agree. I'm hoping his next one's at UFC Manchester. There's been talks.
I reckon it should be that, man. I don't see why. I don't see why not. If they're not doing Birmingham, Manchester's the closest thing for them. So that's what, hour and a half away. Sell out. It'll sell out. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. If it's a pay-per-view one, he'll definitely be on it. If not, we'll see.
Completely agree. Ladies and gentlemen, AMMARI DIEDRICK fighting April 20th at Octagon 56 in Birmingham. Sorry. It's going to be a great show. AMMARI DIEDRICK, this is a fantastic stylistic fight. It's going to be fireworks. Thank you very much. I'll see you April 20th.